Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is going to be the recap review for The Chi. Alright, for those of y'all who don't remember this shirt, this is my shirt. I love it. Always have, always will. Oh, y'all. Ooh, that feels good. Anyway, I love Bob Ross. Y'all do not understand how much I love Bob Ross and how much of an influence he has had on me artistically. And I will go off about him. Like everybody who knows me, they know about how serious I am about Bob Ross. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with this recap review. Okay, so it started out with Ronnie taking a shot and having a few words to say about his grandmother, who y'all know is Miss Ethel, and she's now deceased. He's in his feelings, and y'all, in my mind, my first thought was, bruh, you still drinking? Could you go somewhere and stop drinking? I understand that people do toasts, but you have toasted enough and have gotten toasted enough in your lifetime to last everybody else a lifetime. So just stop. Y'all, Jada showed up, and she literally was actually on her way out the door, and he was like, Jada, I wasn't expecting to see you here. And so she was like, she was special to me. She was more than just my client. I actually loved her and all of that. Y'all, Jada read him and told him that he should stop drinking, and he has a drinking problem. And it's like he knows that, but he doesn't. And I'm like, bruh. Y'all, anyway, Omari is in the bed with Keisha. Y'all, when I tell y'all how disturbed I was when I saw that scene, I was just like, my thing is this, I know that she's like 18, right? Like, I don't care. Like, she looks so young, and it was just so awkward seeing him in the bed with her. I was just like, I'm so tired. Y'all, anyway, like, I really was disgusted. Like, it really turned my stomach. Y'all, Emmett and Dom are meeting up, and Tiffany, she has some business to run across town with, her marijuana business, so the child could not be with them, and he ended up bringing him along, and Dom looking like. So anyway, they really wanted to be able to present a business plan to someone who, I think they are over Sonny's rent, and Sonny has been behind on his rent, and yeah, they're trying to convince them that, they're trying to convince him, that they are suitable to take over, and, it'll just be a new school flair, and that they still will be able to serve the Southern cuisine that people would love, but just better, because Sonny's chicken is like dry and, all this other stuff. But people are used to what they're used to, and they think it's fine, but as we've already seen, Dom, she be setting it off in the kitchen. So, y'all, he wasn't really here for it, and he, basically denied them later on. Anyway, Doodah is happy about the numbers that he is seeing projecting him as the person who is in the lead right now against Camille in the mayoral candidacy. And Candy's character, y'all, I don't even know why I can't remember her name no more. Y'all, I told y'all that she was going to be on the show, and I forgot what her name was supposed to be as his wife. But anyway, they downstairs eating breakfast, and he all happy, and she's not happy about how he went about things, as far as like saying his mama had mental illness and all that other stuff. And she was just like, it could have backfired. Like, you got lucky. But, she likes to be in the know of things. And I understand that. I do too. You need to let me know some ahead of time, so I don't be looking crazy and get blindsided. Y'all, anyway, Jake come downstairs, and, it's time for him to go to school. So Doodah was like, sit down and have breakfast. He was like, nah, I ain't hungry. So he was like, okay. He was like, well, make sure you're ready for the dinner we're going to have. We got to go to later on today. And Jake set it off, and he was like, man, I ain't trying to be your prop, man. Dude, I hemmed him up. I was like, oh my gosh, no. No, Doodah. Y'all, you cannot take the street out of Doodah. So anyway, y'all, Keisha's mama is having a really hard time moving forward with things. And her and Dre are supposed to be, she and Dre are supposed to be packing up her room. But Dre is really trying to get her to do it, but she's just like, I'm not ready yet. And so her and Dre actually get into it. And she was like, you come in here every single day. Sometimes you sit in here by yourself for hours at a time. And so she was like, it's only been 2 months. So she was like, yeah, it's been 2 months. It's only been 2 months. So why are you trying to move on so fast? Y'all, she got so mad at Dre that she was like, you know what? Get out of my house. She was like, man, I ain't going nowhere. This is my house too. She was like, nah, what you gonna do is get your stuff and get out this house. Keisha ain't like you no way. I ain't got time for it. Like she told her, and don't try to be slick and try to take some of my stuff with you. Like she told her to get out the house. Like she was just like, what you're not finna do is this. I was like, Lord, I'm talking about she took the ring off, told her she could take the wedding pictures. Like she's done. Like she's just like, no. She was like, look, I need you, Kevin needs you. She was like, but Keisha needs me more. Like, y'all, Lord, she been setting it off and I'm here for it. Like, I mean, don't give up on your children. Don't give up on your kids. So, I'm here for this energy. I ain't gonna lie to you. She said she's not giving up hope. Y'all, Jake is livid. Like, he at the schoolhouse talking to Kevin about what done went down with Doodah. And Kevin looking at him like, that don't surprise me. It don't surprise me that Doodah acting like this. And y'all, of course, Jim over there somewhere. And he keep on looking over there at her. Jake like, man, quit looking at her. He was like, man, I ain't looking at her. But we all know you looking at her. And, he's still in his feelings because she has told people, his business. And they are treating him like a charity case. And nobody likes that. So, he keeps telling him that he needs to forget about her. And I do think that he, actually kind of like her. Because that's what kids do. They'll sit up there and act like they don't like you, but they doing it because they really do like you. Like, I have never understood why that was a thing, but whatever. Y'all, Jada was making out with her little boyfriend or whatever he's supposed to be or whatever, right? About to go into her apartment. So she went into her apartment. Emmett and Tiffany are laid up with trash all over the place. The child is just there, and they jumping up like, oh, you're home early. We was just about to clean up. Jada was tired of her spirit. And so she actually ended up introducing old boy to both of them and, said they were both trifling and all this other stuff. And she was like, I was just coming to change and go back out. So you already know good and well, the way they was making out, she was about to bust it wide open and tell them to bring it back. But anyway, he was like, you want to pick up on this later? And so she was like, yeah. So she walked him out. Old boy was reading. He was like, this isn't right. This is not going to fly. And at first I was looking like, sir. But, I mean, he is right because they walk all over him, especially Emmett. And so she was like, what you mean? What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to let my baby be out there. I'm not going to let my grandbaby be out on the streets, homeless, nowhere to go. And so she was saying the same thing about Emmett too. And he was like, now he is not going to be homeless. And she kind of looking like, you don't know what I know. Because he has had to do what he had to do. But I'm like, you got a child and a girlfriend too, and they will be homeless with you. That is not a good look. And I mean, I get it, but she has babied him for so long that he thinks that it's fine and that it's normal. So I get it, but I don't know if I feel like he had a right to even go to the extent of as far as what he said about them. I don't know. I'm kind of in between, y'all. It's crazy because after she basically walked him out, he said we had to say, she came back in mad and she was like, the least y'all could do is clean up. Y'all living here rent free. Lord, why he finally tell her? Because she was like, okay, so I hope y'all ready to be gone next week or whatever. Because She was trying to even convince her boyfriend that they were going to be gone next week. And he was like, now we both know that's a lie. I was like, sir. So they both were looking like a deer caught in headlights. I was like, why? Lord, tell me why. He was like, yeah. So we're going to need a little bit more time. And so she was like, how long? And he talking about to the end of the year. Jada is tired of her spirit. She just couldn't even formulate a sentence at this point. She was just like, y'all done ate up all the food in the house. I'm just so sick and tired. I was like, nah. She went in her room. She was so done. Lord. And he ain't got no job. Like, oh no. She was tired. Y'all, Keisha is plotting. So, old boy up in the bed trying to be bathed up with her. And then he was like, oh, I think you're hungry. Let me go get you something to eat. He done went out to go get her one of them trays and put some food on it. He done put the padlocks on the door. So she waited until she knew that he was far enough from the door and wouldn't hear her doing what she was about to do, which was she took this wooden chair and broke the leg off of it and put it back in the corner and took the wooden leg and put it behind her. So I'm like, girl, I get what you're trying to do, but ma'am. Y'all, anyway, he came back in there and she go upside his head a few times. She get a couple of licks in, but it didn't work, and he overpowered her and took the little wooden leg from her and told her that if you try anything like this again, I won't be as forgiving. And I'm like, sir, didn't nobody ask you to kidnap her? But okay. Y'all, Papa is tired of his spirit. At this point, Papa be going through. I be feeling so sorry for Papa. Okay, so he showed up to Maisha's house to, walk her to school. Like, he really is a gentleman. He is so sweet. And so he brought flowers and everything. Like, Papa be setting it off. I'm so here for it. So he came and, she was like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be able to go. My mama lost her job. I got to babysit. He looking like, no, you can't miss no more time at school. You cannot miss no more time. They already said that, it's going to be a problem if you miss school again anymore. Because y'all remember last season, or I don't even remember if it was the first season too, but she was missing school something terrible. I was like, how? Like, if she wasn't as smart as she is and the teachers were willing to work with her and she was, actually having Kevin, I think, take her homework and bring her homework and schoolwork to her and having it being sent back up to the school, she wouldn't have been able to, still be able to keep up. Because she's like, that's the thing that is saving her, is the fact that she's smart. But yeah, I'm like, oh Lord. So she was like, I got to be here with the kids while she go out, searching for a job. And so she was just like, I ain't got no choice. So he was like, man, y'all, she was like, look, this just makes the heart grow fonder and all of this or whatever, because he lives for her. So he lives for the time they get to spend together. And I'm like, bruh, this is just too much. Y'all, Emmett came to Dom's house. She does her little lunch and dinner thing out of her house. And she ain't really trying to hear nothing he got to say after that business meeting situation didn't go as planned. And he approached her and he was like, no, I got good news. Somebody pulled out at the last second who was supposed to cater the event that Duda is going to go to for that dinner, and they want them. So, old boy who, they went to see, he, kind of is the one who wants to see what they're going to, pull off within the next 12 hours possibly, because it's like that night. And I'm like, y'all doing the most. And I think he said 7,000 or 70,000. I'm pretty sure it's 7, because y'all doing the most if it's 70. I think he said 7,000. So she was like, well, how many people is it supposed to feed? And he was like 20. And so she was like, boy, do you understand that it's just me? And he was like, it's me too. I can help. And she was like, you're going to have to do every single thing I tell you to do. So, she was just like, you better. He was like, I promise I'll do everything I got to do. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. So I'm like, bruh, oh, okay. Y'all, Dre and the mama, I already told y'all they done got into it. Y'all, Dre done set it all the way off. Dre done went in the room anyway while the mama was wherever she was at and packed up all of Keisha's stuff. So she walked in there and she was like, what are you doing? She was like, look, it's time to move forward. We got to move on. And you come in here all this time. And like she said it, I already told y'all, she said it off. Ronnie's friends are going to be leaving and going to, I think, Springfield to work. And they're actually going to make something of themselves. So they were like, well, you know, there's an offer on the table for you too. You know, you ain't got to worry about it. We all going out here to, you know, work. And so he was like, no, man, I got some stuff I got to do here. And I'm like, oh my God. Y'all. So, you know, they'd already propositioned him earlier, and this is actually the day. Like, I think it was within 24 hours that they were going to leave. So they were about to leave, right? They crank up the truck. Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. Come on. Do you remember? Y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand how much I love that song. Y'all don't understand. Y'all running, you know, they end up pulling off, and he getting his life in the middle of the street dancing to the song. And like he turns around in the circle, and then he sees this like mural that somebody had up. And I didn't zoom in on it, but I think it was the child that he killed. So yeah. I don't know, or it was somebody else's child. I don't know, because y'all already know where they are. People are killing everybody like it's nothing over there. Y'all, I think that kind of put him back in the mindset of, okay, I have something that I have to do. So, y'all, after Keisha did what she did, Omari was like, what you not finna do is try me again. So he cleared that whole room out. So the only thing that's in there is the bed, the sheets, and the covers. Like just the blanket, y'all. That's it. Y'all, they kept showing her at different angles and how empty the room was. And then we kept seeing her ripping the sheets. And I was like, ain't no way for her to try to get out a window with y'all. Then the next thing I know, they show her with what she has made to be a noose hanging above her head. And then she starts crying. I was so done. I was like, Lord, this child is tied in her spirit. Like, she just feels like there's no way out, and the only way out is to kill herself. Like, I'm so done. Y'all, that almost brought me to tears, because that is sad. When you feel like you've done all you can do, and now you just feel like you need to kill yourself. Lord, if you ain't been there, you do not understand. So anyway, y'all, Gemma rolled all the way up on Kevin. Kevin has been ignoring her. He has not been returning text messages, calls, nothing. He has been paying her dust. So when school let out, she was waiting on him at the door. He done walked outside. He got his little AirPods or whatever y'all call them in his ears. And she rolled all the way up and was like trying to talk to him. And y'all, he was just like, all I said to you was that I did not want my business on the street, and I did not want to be treated like a charity case. You told me my business. So he was about to roll out. And this heifer offered up the cheeks. Oh my gosh. Y'all, he was so good until she offered up them cheeks. I was like, ma'am, no. Oh my gosh. Stephanie was like, you want to come over to my house? I was like, oh my God. I was like, please. Don't nobody cue Maxwell. Don't nobody cue Maxwell to do the cover of this woman's work. Don't nobody cue nobody to do no song that is supposed to be indicative of somebody about to have sex. Do not do this with the children. Please don't do this. Y'all, I was done. So anyway, y'all, they showed them, they about to get it in. They really was about to get it in. They was about to get dressed. Her daddy came home unexpectedly. So she was like, my dad's here. Get dressed. Y'all, he done came to the room. And she was like, hi, Dad. I'm just here studying with Kevin. Talking about they going over what is it? Y'all about to say Italian. Going over French homework or something. This fool had a whole geometry book out upside down. I was like, you fool. And the daddy knew what it was, and he was like, get on over here. And so she gonna whisper to him, you'll be okay. I was like, I don't know now. So, you know, he about to grill him. Y'all, anyway, y'all, Papa done rolled up in the church house. He done got tired in his spirit. He was like, what we not finna do is this. Bay ain't finna be out here like this. He rolled up into the church collection plate. And his daddy came in the office like, what are you doing? He was like, you said that this is the money that's supposed to help people. And he was like, that is for the bills for the church and for us at, you know, the lights and for the church and all this other stuff. And so he was like, okay, but what about that money Camille gave you? And he was like, that money is for you to have everything you need. Papa was like, okay, well, since I have everything I need, can you go ahead and get that money to Maisha because her family needs it? And he tried to tell his daddy what the situation was. Y'all, oh my gosh. So his dad was like, I'm glad that I raised a son who has a giving spirit. Or something like that. And Papa was like, well, what kind of spirit do you have? I was like, oh my God, he been reading his daddy this whole season. Stop it, please. No. Y'all, I have been done. Papa is tired. Oh, Lord. Y'all, so anyway. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, y'all, okay, let me get serious because it is going down now. Y'all, Ronnie done went all around the neighborhood where Omari lives. And he's been asking people about Keisha. All we saw were doors slammed in his face. So, he walking and he looking like he's kind of defeated. And this woman, this nosy neighbor, sees him and was like, what you looking for in this neighborhood? Whatever you looking for, you ain't gonna find it. And so, you know, she's still trying to be nosy and figure out what he looking for. And he was like, that man that lives across the street from you. I want to know, you know, about saying something about the wife. He was like, she was like, he ain't got no wife. I was like, oh Lord, no. No, that woman first of all, that woman said Omari's touched. And then she was like, he ain't got no wife. I was like, oh Lord. Ronnie was like, what we not finna do is this. Man, he went looking for a weak spot in the back part of this man's house. And, you know, he was able to get the gate to open up. So he done opened the gate up. He rummaging through stuff. He found a crowbar. So he found a crowbar. He done broke the door open. He couldn't even use the crowbar for that. He done kicked the door in. So he called for Keisha. And then he opens up this door. He didn't hear nothing at first because she didn't hear him. So he opens up this door not far from where that door was. And it leads down to the basement where Keisha is. All we see is the padlocks. So he was like, Keisha. And Keisha hears her name. She was like, yeah, I'm in here. Help me, get me out of here. Oh my gosh. He was like, Keisha, oh, okay. I'm gonna get you out of there. Lord, why? Tell me why. Why did he go downstairs? As soon as he starts trying to take the padlocks off the door, this fool rolls up. He looking like, my door open, who up in here? I'm tired of my spirit. So of course he runs in the house. Ronnie has gotten the door open. Keisha sees that it's Ronnie, and so she backs up. Lord, I'm like, okay, this is finna go all the way wrong because first of all, Ronnie is a twig and he's an alcoholic. What is he gonna be able to do? I understand that there are moments that come into play where adrenaline happens and you're able to overpower and have this superhuman strength out of nowhere. But I don't think that's what's going to be the case with Ronnie, right? This is what's going through my mind as this is about to unfold. Because all scenarios are going through my mind. Like, all right, how this going to go down? Y'all, he done walked all the way in the room. In my mind, I'm like, shoot, you done walked all the way in the room. He about to knock you and her out. And by the time y'all wake up, he going to have a whole new door and padlocks up there. Y'all, of course he walk in the door. He tied his spirit. He done went all the way off. He get in a little scuffle with Ronnie. He tried to get in a little scuffle with Keisha and go off on her. I'm like, how you gonna try to make it seem like she has created trouble as if she had a phone and she called Ronnie to come over there? Like, he seemed like he was mad that Ronnie was there and he a man and don't be trying to roll up on my woman or something, because y'all already know that he has sat up here and has fantasized and fetishized about the situation that happened to him a long time ago. Because, bro, I know you about 40-some years old. If you don't go somewhere and sit down talking about how you got rejected back in the day by somebody who reminds you, who Keisha reminds you of, what they got to do with her? Anyway, y'all, it got to the point where Keisha got up. She got the crowbar. She ended up beating Omari down. If he ain't dead, then I don't know what's going on. He got to be dead as bad as she beat him. I'm sorry. The way that Fall from Grace went, the way that she beat that man head in, he should have been dead. Ain't no who lives from that. I'm never gonna get over that. I'm sorry. If you've ever seen a Fall from Grace, y'all will understand the stupidity that came out of that. Who lives? Who lives to just have a bandage on their head and that's it after having your skull bust in like that? Like, I'm tired. Anyway, she beat that man down. If he ain't dead, I don't know who. Somebody got to be dead. Like, at this point, I didn't know if she saw red and she beat Ronnie too. That's what my thought was. That was what my thought process was, because we didn't see Ronnie anymore. But y'all, I already told y'all, he's very small, so he done got knocked out a little bit by old boy. Y'all, she went to town on old boy. I'm so glad she went to town on Omari. Yes, tear his spine down. Thank you. If he ain't dead, his spine is gone. That's all I know. Anyway, whew, Lord, y'all. They, of course, do a little slow-mo kind of moment and had a dramatic music in the background that showed Keisha coming out the front door. She go out into the street, look around. You can see there's a little blood on her face. Oh my gosh, I was so happy to see her come out. And I didn't see Ronnie, and that's kind of what led me to believe, like, okay, did he get hemmed up a little bit too much? Did she black out and just hit anything that was coming in her direction? Because all the traumatic stuff she's been through, it wouldn't have surprised me if that happened. Y'all, so anyway, tired in my spirit. Kevin is at Gemma's house, and the daddy is basically trying to grill him. And this is when the phone call comes in, and he realizes that he has to leave. That's the only thing saved him from getting grilled. Because the daddy literally just asked him, was you about to screw my daughter? Y'all know he did not say the word screw, but that's what I'm going to say. Oh my gosh, y'all, this show Kevin running through the hospital, and he got into the waiting room where Dre and his mama were, and you know he wanted to know where Keisha was, and they were like, look, they won't let us see her yet because, you know, I guess they're asking her questions, personal stuff right now, but we waiting to see her. Ooh, Lord, I'm so tired. Y'all, when they finally let them come in the room, everybody was so happy to see her. The moment was beautiful. She even reached out for Dre. Like, it was a lot. It was to the point where her mama, you know, was talking to her and was like, look, you don't have to talk to anybody until you're ready. We are happy that I'm happy to have you in my arms. Like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I knew it was real when she reached out for Dre, because y'all know she has made it clear that she don't like Dre. Like, when she reached out for Dre, I was like, oh, don't do this. Don't make me cry. Don't do it. So, yeah. It took everything for Kevin not to cry. Y'all saw it. Oh my gosh. So, y'all, Dom and Emmett are catering that dinner. Doodah is there. Camille is there. And I think that's Gemma's daddy. And every time they have an election, he picks one person that he's going to endorse. And he's trying to figure out who he's going to endorse. And he has, of course, done research. And he said he wants somebody who's like him. And of course, he ended up picking Doodah. And I'm like, why did Camille sit up there and be like, oh, so you're trying to Shirley Chisholm me? I was like, stop, somebody please stop. Stop this. Stop it. Stop. I ain't even finna get into that. But yeah, he ended up picking Doodah. Y'all, the event was a success. They got their check, Dom and Emmett. After it was over, of course, they ended up screwing. I really was hoping that Emmett was going to act like he had some sense, because we've talked about this in the comment section, y'all. And I really was hoping that he wasn't going to do it, but he did. He ended up screwing her, whatever. Y'all, Papa and his daddy showed up at Maisha's house, gave her the money. Her mama that set it off was like, I don't want no handouts. It was funny because when she opened the door, she was like, I accept Jesus Christ as my personal savior, trying to get him to leave. And he was like, nah, I ain't here for that. So he was like, we were told about your situation and we, thought we'd come and help. And so he was like, we raised this money for you. So when we leave here, the money's going to stay here. So it don't matter what you say. Her mama to call Maisha in there. She feel like she in trouble. She got one of them mamas that when your mama call you, you already got fear in your heart. You saw the fear on her face. I was like, oh Lord, you about to get this girl in trouble. But it ended up panning out well. Her mama, after they left, she had this sigh of relief on her face because, yeah, she was going all the way through. Jake is playing a video game at the house with Doodah, and Doodah come in and try to act like he is, apologizing to him, and he wants to talk to him, and he trying to make it seem like he's not the reason why Reggie is dead, but if he didn't die, then he basically was supposed to follow instructions, and that's why he's dead. And so he looking like, bruh, what is going on? Why are you trying to save me then? Since you talking about you couldn't save my brother, but you're trying to save me. So he was like, I see myself in you. He was like, what you see? A gangster or whatever. He was like, maybe. And maybe I see the next mayor of Chicago. And he was like, you ain't even been the mayor. You ain't even win the election yet. And then they was being petty with that scene. As soon as he said that, they switched over to the next scene real quick. Dre was approached by the doctor and was like, look, here are some brochures. There's a lot of help available because she is going to need to talk to somebody. And they are going to actually give them the STD results in a few hours. So her mama is in the bed with her asleep. Dre is in there and watching them. And she is just so thankful and crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Y'all, this ended on a good note, so to speak. I ain't gonna lie. This would have been me, because y'all know I don't like Ronnie. Kevin don't like Ronnie. Don't nobody like Ronnie, really, at this point. And he, we forget for a second that he's in the hospital, but he's in there. He went and found his hospital room, went into his room, and Ronnie looking like, oh gosh, what we finna do? What's finna happen? Because you already know they've had words exchanged before, or at least Kevin has mainly, said what he said to him after he's killed people. And he was like, thank you. So Ronnie seemed like he had a sigh of relief. Like you could tell that he felt like he did what he was supposed to do. So I'm like, okay. Y'all know how I feel about Ronnie. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to this recap review. I really do appreciate all the love and support that y'all give me. I hope that y'all are having a good one. Y'all be safe out there. It's raining here, and I love it. I'm gonna get me some amazing sleep, hopefully. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later for something else. Bye.